and welcome everybody to this week's vlog. Yay! Alright, so I've got some very special news. As you may be able to tell by the background, I have rearranged my books a little bit and I am going to take you a tour of them, don't you worry, right? But I was able to finish Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, right, this weekend, which is super cool and nice. I think it was a 4 to 5 stars. What I really liked about it is the social commentary of it, right, of just everything, and that just trying to get rid of these androids and these Nexus 6s, which are kind of they just are able to blend in with regular humans, and just how even owning a pet, a real life pet, is just so far out that he was able to get a pet, but it was what's it called? But it was a goat, a real life goat, and he put an entire paycheck down as payment for it, right? And it's just why, right? But he really wanted a dog, but you can't really come by dogs, what have you, and they already had an electric sheep, but you could get all these really weird things, electric bugs, and to make sure them look super real for your animal, and it's just oh my gosh, right? But I really enjoyed it. I guess I more enjoyed the actual what do I want to say, just the social commentary of it more than anything else. But because it was a very short read, I was able to read a couple extra chapters of Fourth Wing, which I am super happy about, something that I was super into. I'm super happy I did that. I'm super happy that I actually was reading it, am enjoying it. I'm more into the school year and how she is part of the Fourth Wing, right? And it's just really great. I really liked it. Alright, so then there's that. Now, timing for you can see how I got everything lined up in a corner of everything I want to read. Alright, so I think Fourth Wing is going to be the book that I read at home, mainly because I do not want to get the book ruined, because I've, I paid a lot of money for it. So I think I'm going to have If I Stay by Gail Forman be the book that I read while I'm at work on my lunch break. And from what I remember, it's going to be a quick, easy read, so that's what I'm going to be doing next. So I can get those off of my TBR pile and be able to donate those, right? But because it is Halloween or Spookoween or October, I may end up reading another Lisa Jewell book, because they, which, of course are in the back corner there, because, you have to have a thriller, right? I'm really into thrillers lately, so, right? But I also kind of want to read the Little Bookshop, so I don't know If I Stay or the Little Bookshop I'm going to read, because you got to have 2 books going at once. I mean, honestly, I should focus on Fourth Wing, but I got time, and I think I just kind of want to savor Fourth Wing because it is so popular, and I want to be able to know that I got everything, remember everything for when the second one, Iron Flame, comes out, so that's kind of part of it as well. But yeah, that's just kind of what I've been doing, what I've been up to. I'm back at home. I'm ready to be vlogging more, reading more. Yeah, so I do got the rest of today to be reading, and I am going to be focusing more on Fourth Wing. So, I should have an update for that. And then tomorrow I'll let you know which books that I will be reading at work as well. So yeah, so I'll hopefully be able to read 2 books a week going forward, but we'll see. We'll see. You don't want to put pressure on myself, don't want to do anything else. Ooh, and I guess there's something else I do want to show you all. Right. So while I was away, we ended up coming up with this craft, and because it is Halloween, and look, it's a floating ghost. Ooh, yeah. I'm not sure if I'm going to give him eyes yet or not. Probably should, but I think that's super cool. Right? Oh, I kind of dented the head a little bit. That's okay. I'm going to trim it up a bunch, but, Halloween little ghost floating there. Made out of cheesecloth and glue. Kind of like paper mache over a balloon. yeah, highly suggest quick, easy Halloween project, right? As I promised, I did jazz up my my little reading area show off case here, which is also very nice and happy. All right, but happy reading. Would enjoy this. Right now, it makes me want to watch Blade Runner because this is the book that the inspiration for Blade Runner. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of it for now. Hopefully everybody had a great Thanksgiving, and yeah, we'll take it from there. Hopefully, yeah, just need to stop rambling. Okay, bye. Oh, I guess, check out these nails. I did them specifically to be very fall-like, okay? The glitter, you know, all about the sparkle, all about the hollow, right? All right, now I'm going. Bye. Alrighty, so today's reading Dippit is that proficient readers usually have better paid jobs. They are 2.5 times more likely to earn $1,000 or more a week. Right? So that's quite interesting. Right, so Fourth Wing is the book I'm going to be reading at home, and if I stay, I'm just going to be trying them out. I think when I bought this one and the second one, Where She Went, at the bookstore, I was like, ooh, like I'm going to read both of them, they're going to be so cute, but that was a while ago, so I'm somewhat interested in them, somewhat not, so I'm just going to see how they work, what I think about them, and if I don't like it, or depending on them, I'm just gonna, you know, donate them back to the bookstore, and I'm gonna start reading Nine Perfect Strangers at the, well, I'm at work. I was debating reading the little bookshop, but I think I really want to pay attention, or I'm going to save that one for later. But I didn't really get any reading done yesterday. That's because I decided to craft. So here's the one mitten that I've been working on. So basically, originally, so I started knitting the second mitten up to about there. Right? But then, because this one used to have like little finger holes for each of your fingers, but they were too tight, right? So I was like, well, I need to redo them. I was like, what if I just made it like straight across to about there, right? And then like do up the thumb, then do about there crocheted, and then I'll make like a flap to go over them. But then I just kept kind of going and going with the crochet, so now this is what it looks like. I think it looks ugly now that I get to look at it more so in the morning. It's not that bad, but I do prefer like the knitted, how like the gradient of the yarn looks knitted versus crocheted. And but because it's the crocheted at the top, like I can get my fingers out to kind of still use my phone, which is kind of like the point. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Like I don't know if I'm going to make like a second mitten or not, because I kind of only done so much. I can just make it into a coffee cozy or something. I don't know, right? I may just end up making a second mitten and actually knitting the finger holes. I'm not too sure. That's tonight's problem. Tonight after work, I don't need to do anything. Should I spend it reading? Or, well, actually, I need to find more of a balance with things. And so I'm not just spending an entire evening just like crafting or an entire evening reading. I need to find a nice little balance between them, right? But I don't know. But that's later's problem, later's decision to decide what I'm going to do. But because now I know what a crocheted kind of mitten looks like, I'm thinking that if I do happen to crochet a mitten, I'm going to get some, I was going to say felt, but it's not felt, some fleece and stitch it together and stitch it inside the mitten just to make it a little bit more nice. But I figured ultimately, because I have only so much of this like yarn left, that if I don't like it, or if I don't want to create like a second mitten, or now like a third mitten, because I don't think I want to make another mitten that looks like this. This would just be like a one-off, I think. Right, that I'm not sure what I would do, because I only have so much yarn left, that I'm kind of like leaning towards knitting an infinity scarf, because I think that would be like super cool, right? But definitely this yarn definitely looks better knitted than it does crocheted. So yeah, right? But I guess like I do have a hat, like a peach boy kind of hat that matches this more kind of crocheted look to it, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I got all day to decide, and I don't have to make the decision right now. I think my main thing was that I just wanted to move on. Like, you know what I mean? I just wanted to complete something, and I figured that because I've been trying to make these mittens for so long that, like, I just need to, like, get another craft done, right? Like, I need to move on, and I need to be working on a craft that is, you know, something more towards, you know, my craft bin, so I could eventually get more stuff so I could sell at a craft show, because I got that big bag of like little balls of yarn that I should be considering getting rid of. I don't know. That's kind of it. I'm yeah, so that's my little rant for today. I have read, crafted, one mitten down, and that's all I gotta say. Anyways, thumbs up. Hopefully everybody's day is great. And oh yeah, it kind of was when I got up this morning, it was a little dark outside. It made me sad, but it's bright out now. Right? Just reminds me that daylight savings is coming, and so is the snow. All right, but still nice out today. That's all we can be thankful for. All right, bye. Alright, so today's reading tidbit is that students who do not learn to read by grade 3 are 4 times more likely not to graduate from high school. That's interesting. Alright, so last night I was able to read a little bit more Fourth Wing. It was good, but at the same time, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just going through like a bit of a reading slump right now, because it felt like for the most part, like everything that I was reading was going in one eye and out the other. I felt like it didn't matter if I was reading slower or faster. It just, I don't know, like it wasn't picking up, and which is really sad because I want to pick up as much as I can from Fourth Wing, not just because it's so popular, and because I bought the actual book and I have the second one on pre-order, but I just think it would be like a really good read, and I'm missing out by not picking up more of it. But anyways, I went back to like the mitten that I was creating. Decided I am going to make it a mitten. Went back, took out like the crochet, and I knitted the thumb. And so tonight, after I get home, like later on tonight, if I have time, I'm just going to cut off this crocheted bit and then knit a little bit more. It's going to look a little janky. Like, I mean, the thumb looks okay, but I don't know. I'm going to have one mitt that looks like perfect, another one that's kind of like, you know what I mean? Right? But that's just like kind of what you get, and I don't know. It is what it is, right? And I feel, I don't know, maybe it's because I know winter's coming and it's just all glum outside that I'm just kind of like that too. I don't know, right? But I've decided that next week, or next month, I'm going to be reading The Handmaid's Tale, because somebody that I knew, or not that I know, like somebody online has like a book club, which I didn't realize that they did, and next month that they're reading The Handmaid's Tale, and I was like, oh, I got it. Maybe I should read that too, right? It's not like maybe I should find like their Discord and everything like that so I can be part of the discussion, because I also read this year 2 other books that they had read, so it's just kind of interesting. If I'm already reading some of the books they're already reading, then maybe I should join the discussion, because I mean, why not, right? Anyways, that's kind of it for me. I'm gonna get going, and yeah, this is just kind of like a bit of an update. Thanks for tuning in. Alright, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye! Alright, so today's reading tidbit is that during a research study, students in New York stated that listening to a fluent reader helped them improve their reading skills and become proficient readers, which is interesting. Alright, so, yeah, that is kind of what is going on, or just another reading fact for you. So, I didn't get any reading done yesterday, but I was able to fix the mitten. Woohoo! I'm gonna put it on so I can show you guys. And yeah, so something I wanted to mention here after I put this mint on, I can show you. Okay. So yes, it's a little janky, but I do love this a lot better than what it was. And so the plan is that after I finish the other one, which is going to end up looking a lot better than this one, is I'm going to like create a flap so that way it'll go over the 4 fingers, right? So that way I will always have access to them, right? And I can also keep warm. It'll be knitted, which is a nice closer knit, so they'll stay nice and warm, right? I'm still working on my thumbs, but this worked out. And yeah, I think this looks a lot better crocheted or knitted than it does crocheted. So yeah, that is kind of what I like about that. So this one time, because the last couple times I've sat down to read, like it's been great, but like I feel like I have to be reading and that I'm not really enjoying my read. And so I feel like I'm not really like comprehending anything. And I heard something, right, from this one YouTuber that they suggested that we're being taught wrong, right? And how they were saying is that like if, say like right now, if you're more interested in say crafting right now, then like do all the crafts that you can, like kind of like binge it, right? And then if you are say really into like reading, like read as much as you can, get that all out of your system, read whatever you makes like your heart desired, right? Just do that kind of a thing, right? And then they were like, well, if you right now feel that you're really into like a sport or learning a new skill, like, you know what, like Photoshop or something like that, they're like, then do that, right? And like where, you know, in school, like you shouldn't like be going from like one subject to the next to the next to the next kind of a thing. Like it should be going to like where it's like kind of student guided, and right. So I'm like, well, right now if I'm really into crafts, I'm not really reading as much, I'm really into crafts, yes. I've switched hands, right? That yeah, that, you know, like I should be crafting more and I should be like focusing on like finishing these mittens, and then like, you know, be making more coffee cozies and like scrunchies and everything like that, so that way I could be making more content for a craft table, so that way I could have a table at the Easter craft show at the fair, Western Fair, right? Or doing like a test shop at the Covent Garden Market for Valentine's Day or something like that. Like I don't know, right? And you know, then I should give warnings to my friends so that way they can create content too for this table, right? And so we all can benefit, right? So it's just, I don't know, the idea reminded me a lot of like kind of like Montessori, and I think that's like what it is, kind of like more self-guided kind of education, or just like going with the flow. So like right now, if I'm really more interested in doing crafts, right, and then, you know, not so much like really into reading, then reading should take like a bit of a background, right, as like I do a craft, because, you know, I'm needing to finish these gloves for like all summer, or even though it's fall now. So, you know, better late than never. At least I'm not like starting projects, never finishing them, and like having to rip them out or something like that, right? But because I do have that big bag of like small balls of yarn, I do want to finish it or get on that and get to see what I can build with that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I have like 2 projects in mind, but anyways, but yeah, gloves. Gonna start doing something else with I'm still gonna read now that I've kind of started like If I Stay and Where She Went, like that kind of duology. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it, right? I am going to start reading If I Stay hopefully today on my lunch, see how I like it and where it goes, because I should honestly be starting to read what's it called, the Percy Jackson series, right? So yeah, we'll have to see how things go, see what I think, but that is definitely something I want to bring forward and kind of do. But that's just kind of like my little spiel right now, just like letting you know that you know, go with the flow. Like, listen to your body, listen to your mind, you know, and see what it's telling you. If it's telling you that you should be doing other things, great. So it's like, maybe for me, it's not so much about creating a balance where I'm doing crafts and reading. It's just about binging something till it's done and then moving on to the next thing, like whether it be the next project, next book, like whatever. So that way when I do sit down to read, I'm like really absorbing the text of what I'm reading and not just like, ugh, whatever. I don't know. But the longer I drag out Fourth Wing, right, the closer it's going to be to like the Iron Flame when that comes out. You know what I mean? But thumbs up to this, thumbs up to you all, and hopefully everybody has a great day. Alright, bye! Alright, so today's reading Dippit is that daily reading to children puts them almost a year ahead of those that are not being read to, which I think is kind of unique and kind of great, right? So unfortunately, yesterday got away from me. I did not read, I did not knit or crochet or do anything sort of crafty, right? I had to go to work, because I have a few different jobs, and then I spent time with my husband last night, which was like, you know, prime. And yeah, so I didn't really have like an update or any kind of update in that regard. But yeah, like I did have an epiphany, or a light bulb went on about a certain situation, so I think I might be implementing that, which, you know, can't give too much detail over. But yeah, what else is there? I guess I might be going to, well, tomorrow I work at the library again, and I volunteer at the bookstore. So I guess tomorrow, I will be unhauling a bunch of books, right, to give back to the bookstore. So I hopefully will be able to, you know, like trade those in, right? Trade those in for some kids' books, right? Like, I'm really not like trading them in. Like, I'm honestly just like giving them back to the bookstore, because I feel like I got everything for such a cheap or effective price that I don't need to worry about it. So there's that. And yeah, so that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. But I think it's just because it's middle of October now. Ooh, it's actually Friday the 13th. Ooh. So like, I don't know if anybody has like some special like Friday the 13th kind of things that they like to do. I don't really, but I got thinking that like I should start making a spreadsheet of like movies that you watch on like every day of the year, right? Kind of like you watch Mean Girls on October 3rd, The Parent Trap on October 11th, V for Vendetta on November 5th, like Terminator on August 12th, Blade Runner 2049, I think it's like June 26th or something, or June 11th, I'm not too sure, one of those dates, right? But like there has to be like a date that's like put into at least one movie of every day of the year, you know what I mean, right? So I'm kind of like thinking and considering that. Oh my gosh, yeah, so like when I was at the library last night, it came to me all of a sudden. I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot my library books, and they were due today, man. But because I work there tomorrow, like it's not like it's that big of a deal, because I just return them up tomorrow. But it was still kind of like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe it's just like kind of like a lightning kind of strike. And it's kind of like weird because they have like another copy of the Just the Nicest Couple, and I was like, oh, I read that. Didn't even occur to me that I borrowed it and I had it here at home, right? But you know, but it's okay, right? Like they have, the librarian was like so nice just to renew them for me, and that she knows that they're coming back next week, or like, on tomorrow, and it's just kind of nice that that like there aren't any late fees anymore, so they can just be set right there. I mean, if there was a late fee, just like it's 2 days, so 2 days worth of fines, and it's like not that big of a deal, so I wouldn't mind paying it if we had fees, but we don't. But yeah, right, so I think that's enough rambling for now, right? I think I've already shown, yeah, I have shown you the books in which I'm giving back to the bookstore. There's that. But anyways, thumbs up for me. Hopefully everything is going great, and you guys have a great, wonderful day. Alright, thank you. Bye. Alright, Alright, so I just finished reading If I Stay. Now here's the thing. Did I read a book in a day? Yes. And how this happened was I started reading it, and it was like a really fast read, and I was like, this, and as I'm reading it, all I can think is like, this reminds me of like a movie I watched like years ago with Chloe Grace Moretz in it, and I was like, this is like uncanny, and I kept like going, and then I had to put the book down around like page 60, and I was like, okay, like, and I was like, great, I looked up Chloe Grace Moretz like filmography, and yeah, like she was in this movie, like a movie was created based on this book, and I was like, well, like it really just like honestly like blew my mind. And as soon as like I realized this and I watched the trailer to the movie, it all came back to me, right? So I was just like literally able to like page turn, like it's like 234 pages, but like I was just able to read it so quickly, basically because like I had already seen it, and it's exactly like the movie. Now like certain scenes are like out of order and everything like that, but honestly, yeah, like it is quite like the movie. Like it's not like anything else. I'm really excited or like happy that I read it, like I'm not gonna lie, right? But I don't know, like it was just super quick. But there is a sequel to this book, and it's called like Where She Went. Now I'm honestly not really interested in reading it. Now, I am going to kind of like flip through it a little bit just to be sure, right? But honestly, right, I'm probably just going to get rid of it, right? I'm gonna unhaul it. Like tomorrow when I like volunteer at the bookstore, I am gonna like unhaul. I have like a reusable bag filled with like books in which I'm unhauling. So I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be unhauling these books with it. So regardless if I like finish Where She Went like tonight or tomorrow morning, that like I'm getting rid of it. Like there's no point in me keeping it. I'm not really interested in it just because like I feel that I know exactly what's going to happen in Where She Went, right? Because there's only so many things or places where it could go. So like If I Stay is based like takes course over like one day, right? Kind of like the initial event and then, you know, the whole trip, because I don't want to get too much into it or give it away, right? But I just have a feeling like Where She Went is just kind of like the first couple of months of like after just dealing with a tragedy and like quite literally doing something else with it, right? And I think another part of it is that like look at all these other books in which like I have and I want to be reading, and I do definitely want to be finishing and focusing on Fourth Wing, but I also, you know, like I have like Dune, I want to read Right Orlander, I want to read The Phantom of the Opera, right? All My Puny Sorrows, like The Little Bookshop, like maybe read the Nicholas Sparks books, definitely Flowers in the Attic. I have like all these other books in which like I want to be reading, and so like I feel like I need to be focusing on that, right? As well as the was it the Percy Jackson series? Like I feel like I need to be focusing on that because the TV show is coming out in December, I'm sorry. So that means like honestly being in the middle of October, like I need to be focusing on those rather than like any of these other books. So that being said, right, I don't know, I think I just like convinced myself like not to read it. I am going to flip through it a little bit, but yeah, that's kind of where I am. And it's funny that like, cause I picked both these books up from like the used bookstore, and they have like an inscription on the front cover to like this other girl. Oh, what's her name? Carla Cave. I have no idea who that is, right? But it's kind of like funny that like I randomly picked up like book 1 and book 2, and they both have the same name in it. So, you know, go me, right? And it's funny that like they both have like little marks in the top corner, probably of where like the sales sticker was, but you know, whatever. Yeah, so there's that. But would I recommend this series or this duology, I guess? Yeah, I think so. And I think it's just like another thing. It's kind of meant for like high school students. So like it's not really, obviously it's below my reading level. So maybe that's part of it too. I don't know. Just a whole lot of excuses not to read it and just move on in life, I guess. Alright, so that's kind of it. I'm going to move on with my night and go from there, right? Thumbs up. All right. Thank you. All right. Bye. All right. So today's reading Dippit is that close reading boosts critical thinking, provides a sharp eye for details, and shapes a person of great insight. And that it's a great tool to catalyze effectiveness and innovation. Woohoo! All right. So last night, I have I read a chapter of Fourth Wing. Ironically, I read it on the tablet versus reading the actual book, just because it was much lighter. I didn't get as much reading done as I should have, and I could have done, just because I just didn't. And I was the end of the week, and I wanted to relax a little bit. But even though I would have been able to relax more with reading than I would have just watching TV, and I didn't watch the programs I should have been watching. So, like, ugh, waste of time, but that's okay, right? Because today, well, actually, I'm not going to be able to get much reading done today because I work in the morning, volunteer in the afternoon, and then I'm seeing a concert later on tonight. So, yeah, I mean, that is such the plan for the day, so I don't know. And it's like super, but it's kind of, it would be nice to be able to read all day because it's super rainy, or it's supposed to rain all day, and it's kind of chilly, so it'd be the perfect environment to read, and all I'm doing is spinning it out of the house. No, woe is not me. I have a very fun, fulfilled life. I just need to be more fulfilled if I read more, right? But I did finish a book yesterday, which is great. And yeah, so my plan is that during my work lunch is next week, I'm still trying to form a habit of me reading on my lunch break, that I'm just going to be concentrating on reading Fourth Wing. I'm very much over it now, or the fact that, I just need to bring the book with me, so therefore I can get it done, right? But yeah, and I was also thinking that I should probably read one of the Lisa Jewell books, because they're like, because it's October, and it's, Thrilloween, Spookoween, right? Spooktober, I don't know, right? And yeah, so I have my bag packed to return the 2 library books that I have. I will hopefully not borrow any books from the library, but you never know. I'm not going to hold myself back if that's what I end up doing. Anyways, that's just kind of it. That's kind of like my daily plan. I will hopefully take some video of the books that I donate at the bookstore, or giving back to the bookstore, I guess, once I do that. But other than that, everything should be hunky-dory. I don't know. Yeah. Thumbs up. Everything should be great. Living life. Alright. Hopefully you have a great and wonderful day. Alright. Bye. Alright, I'm back. So today's reading tidbit is that the role of close reading sharply increases in academic writing as far as it provides critical skills for analyzing the structure of the text, understanding word choice, determining the impact of language throughout the text, and write with sources, using evidence and facts in your own pieces of work. Right? Which I think is super cool. Right? And yeah, so yesterday it was so funny. When I was working at the library, a different librarian was working, and we were talking about how I was like donating a bunch of books to the library, and part of it was because I knew that I was going to be getting more books from like the bookstore next week. And she was like, and she kind of inspired me. She's like, oh, well, she doesn't actually buy books anymore, that she only kind of like borrows from the library. And I was like, wow, maybe I should get rid of some more books, right? Kind of like the Alice Network, the Riviera House, The Secret Orphan, maybe Night Shift, and Enemy at the Gates, and Soul Survivor, and maybe even 9 Perfect Strangers, as well as some of the Lisa Jewell books. So then I was also thinking getting rid of like the Nicholas Sparks books, because I don't know, right? Maybe I'll just set those aside for now, see how I feel. But yeah, I don't know, because it's just, I have so many other books I want to be reading, and I can't read them all. Maybe even Billy Summers, because like I don't even know. I don't know, right? But it's just, it is what it is. I have so many other books that I want to read. It's not that I don't want to read these books, it's just, I just have so many, right? And maybe because I have so many and they're out, I'm just getting overwhelmed by things. And that's kind of like the issue because, you know, like maybe I'm choosing one of these books when I would prefer to say read like The Martian or something like that, right? Or like Red Sparrow or Ready Player One or The King's Speech. Like, I don't even know. Now that I'm looking at King's Speech, I'm like, do I really want to read that? Like, I don't know, right? But it's like I do want to read like The Gentleman in Moscow and Eat, Pray, Love. I just know that I'm not going to be getting to any of these books anytime soon, mainly because of the fact of the matter that I have to start reading the Percy Jackson series, right? Because that is what I'm going to be reading, right, for so when the show comes out. So maybe I just really need to rethink like the setup and put these books away. It is such a thing. But anyways, if I end up getting rid of some books, I'll let you all know. And yeah, so going from there, I'm just going to wrap up the vlog right now. I will be spending the rest of the day reading Fourth Wing. Well, I'm going to watch a movie and then probably going to read Fourth Wing, but we'll go from there. Right? But anyways, cool beans. Hopefully everybody is doing all right. I went and saw a concert last night and it was fantastic. Woohoo! Right? And hopefully more people know who Dermot Kennedy is, because nobody that I know knows who he is, but yet the stadium was packed last night, so I don't know how to take that, right? But anyways, that is that. That is the end of it. I'm just going to say thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week, and we'll give you my opinion on Fourth Wing. All right. Cool. All right. Bye.